The war between Russia and Ukraine is far from over. Bombs continue to fall, lives are shattered, and the fight for Ukraine's survival rages on. But now, a new level of danger has emerged. Russia has reportedly struck a Chernobyl nuclear plant, a site of one of the worst disasters in human history. The attack has sparked global alarm, raising fears of catastrophic consequences. As Ukraine fights back, the world is left asking, how far will this war go? And what will be the cost? Ukraine's security service has announced that it is formally classifying Russia's alleged overnight drone strike on the former Chernobyl nuclear power plant as a war crime, underscoring the grave risks associated with attacks on nuclear sites and the potential violations of international law, according to the SBU. Investigators have already launched criminal proceedings into the attack, which reportedly resulted in damage to the protective concrete shell of the plant's fourth power unit. The fourth reactor at Chernobyl is the infamous site of the catastrophic 1986 nuclear disaster. And while it has since been encased in a sarcophagus to contain radioactive material, any structural compromise poses a significant hazard. Ukrainian authorities have since confirmed that radiation levels remain within normal limits despite the damage sustained. Moscow has denied responsibility for the attack, a stance it has frequently taken in response to accusations of targeting civilian infrastructure. However, Ukrainian security officials stated that they had discovered the wreckage of a Shahed drone at the site, an unmanned aerial vehicle of Iranian design that Russia has repeatedly deployed in its extensive airstrike campaigns against Ukraine. For maximum damage, this attack drone was equipped with a high-explosive warhead, the SBU wrote in a statement shared on Telegram. The agency further emphasized that such an assault not only threatens the safety of Ukrainian citizens, but also carries global implications, given the potential consequences of a nuclear site breach. Ukraine's Prosecutor General's office has also opened a formal investigation into the strike, vowing to hold those responsible accountable under international law. The office has reiterated that attacking a nuclear facility is a direct violation of international humanitarian law, which explicitly designates nuclear power plants as civilian objects and therefore protects them from military strikes. The attack has sparked renewed international concern over the security of Ukraine's nuclear infrastructure. Since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022, Ukrainian nuclear facilities have faced repeated threats. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, Europe's largest, remains under Russian occupation, raising fears of a potential nuclear disaster should hostilities escalate further in the region. One Ukrainian scientist, Natalia Bondarenko, who has worked at Chernobyl for over 2 decades, described the terrifying moment when the attack occurred. "We heard a loud explosion, and the walls of our monitoring station shook," she recounted. "It was a chilling reminder of how fragile our safety is. The thought of another nuclear disaster happening in my lifetime is unbearable." For many who lived through the Chernobyl disaster, this attack brings back painful memories. Viktor Semyonov, a retired engineer who was part of the 1986 cleanup crew, expressed his outrage. "We sacrificed so much to contain the damage back then. To see this sacred ground being attacked again, it's heartbreaking. The world cannot afford to ignore this." Ukrainian officials have called for increased international scrutiny and action to prevent future strikes on critical nuclear infrastructure. This reckless aggression endangers not just Ukraine, but the whole of Europe, one Ukrainian government spokesperson said in a statement. "The world must not allow Russia to use nuclear sites as weapons of terror." As the situation develops, international watchdog organizations, including the International Atomic Energy Agency, are expected to assess the damage and determine any additional risks posed by the attack. Calls for accountability and strengthened protective measures for nuclear facilities are likely to grow as Ukraine and its allies respond to what they have labeled an unprecedented and dangerous provocation. Meanwhile, residents of nearby Pripyat, the abandoned city near Chernobyl, have expressed deep concerns. While the area remains largely uninhabited due to radiation concerns, a small number of workers and scientists still operate within the exclusion zone. "We live with the ghosts of the past every day," said Yuri Melnik, a researcher monitoring radiation levels in the zone. "This attack is a stark reminder that our past tragedies can still haunt us if the world does not take action." As diplomatic tensions rise, world leaders are expected to address the issue in upcoming international forums. Whether these discussions will lead to concrete action remains to be seen, but for those living under the shadow of Chernobyl, the need for immediate intervention has never been more urgent. Thanks for watching, and please follow along as we make more videos.